Back in, I don't know, 1981, something like that, I was working for the Milwaukee Road Railroad. And for a brief stint, I had a job on what they called the gravy train, where you get to a place, you get in the caboose, and you ride all the way out someplace. You get out, you do the work, and then you get back on the caboose and you come all the way back. So basically, for 8 or 9 hour days, you'd work about 2 hours. Hence the name gravy train. Well, anyway, when I was sitting up in the caboose, and you're sitting up pretty high, we were going past a particular spot that wasn't too far from where I lived, and over the rise on the side, I looked out and I saw thousands upon thousands upon thousands of marijuana plants. So that night I told my buddy about it. Dave Summers. Statute of limitations run out, so I can say whatever I want. Anyway, I told Dave about it, and we drove in his car out to this field, and it was him, Dave Summers, myself, and Andy Mayer. We were all drunk at the time, and we were just pulling out these plants, throwing them down on the tracks, and late at night, real dark. And Dave opened up his trunk, and we just started pushing these plants. We stuffed his trunk with these marijuana plants, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. It was hard to close the trunk, and even after we closed the trunk, we had to have one guy sit on it. After we closed the trunk, there were little pieces sticking out, so we had to break those off, obviously, because we're going to drive home. Well, the plan was that the following night, when Dave got off work, we were going to open up his trunk somewhere that we figured was safe, and we were going to break off all the leaves and get ready to dry it up and have weed for a season. Well, I went to the Denny's where Dave worked as a cook to get a few cups of coffee and wait till he got off work and we were going to go do the deed. And I was sitting in such a way where I sat here and the wall was here, and they had the window where the cooks were back in there. And all of a sudden I see Dave's head pop out like this. He says, "I gotta talk to you, man." And he ducked back in. I was like, okay. So within 30 seconds, he was standing in front of me in this whole cook's outfit, and he said to me, "Dude, we got a problem." And what? He said, "This morning, before I was like totally awake, my dad came in my room and said, I got to borrow your car. And I told him where my keys were. He took my car." And I was like, so? Oh. Well, apparently his dad had been driving around all day doing some work or doing some other things with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of marijuana plants in his trunk. Well, he never got pulled over for anything, which is a good thing. Real good thing. And he was none the wiser. He didn't have to go in the trunk, nothing, so he didn't know. So that night, we did take Dave's car, and we decided that it was unsafe to break up these plants anywhere. So the next day we took them to the forest preserves, and we did it, or we attempted to do it.